All right, welcome to the video. Today, we're going to be talking about jet ski accidents. And this is a big topic in South Carolina. Jet skis or personal watercrafts make up about 1 in 5 boat accidents every year, according to the U.S. Coast Guard. And just like a motorcycle accident, folks on jet skis often get hurt bad because there's nothing around them to protect their body from taking the brunt of the impact. Now, before we go any further into this video, let's clarify what we're talking about. A jet ski is Kawasaki's brand. It's what they named their personal watercraft. And just like when we say Kleenex, when we really mean a tissue, Kawasaki owned the market by making jet ski synonymous with personal watercraft. However, there's other brands like Sea-Doo or Yamaha's Wave Runner. So when we're talking about jet skis, we're really talking about personal watercrafts. Now, let's dig in and talk more about jet ski accidents in South Carolina and what you can do if you or a loved one is injured. First of all, let's talk about some of the boat accident statistics in South Carolina. According to data from the United States Coast Guard, there were 152 total boat accidents in South Carolina in 2022 and 184 in 21. And as a result of these accidents, there were 22 deaths in 2022 and 18 deaths in 2021. Now, we can't talk about boating accidents and jet ski accidents in South Carolina without talking about alcohol. For whatever reason, folks don't take drunk boating as seriously as they do drunk driving. There's just a general feeling among a lot of boaters, at least it seems, that drinking and boating go together. However, it's a deadly combo. According to the U.S. Coast Guard's data, alcohol was involved in 4 boat accident-related fatalities in South Carolina in 22 and 3 fatalities in each of 2021 and 2020, and 2 fatalities in 2019. And there were a lot more injuries caused by drunk boaters. So let's talk more about personal injury claims after a jet ski accident. First of all, jet ski accidents and personal watercraft accidents and boat accidents are not the same as car accidents. One of the reasons is because South Carolina doesn't require boaters to carry bodily injury insurance or any kind of specific boating insurance. So when an accident happens, you may have to be a bit more creative and find a policy that might cover injuries. For example, you may have to sue the individual and see if there's a policy that may provide coverage somewhere. Or you may have to sue a jet ski rental company. And typically the jet ski rental company will have some sort of insurance, and it could be a big policy. You may also be able to go after the manufacturer if there was some kind of defect with the boat that led to the crash. But that's less common. So what do you do if you get into a boating accident in South Carolina? Well, first of all, you need to make sure that you're okay. So you need to go get medical attention if you feel like you may have been injured. The adrenaline from a boat crash can mask the pain of an injury for hours, or even a day or more. So you may think that you want to try and tough it out, but that's not always the best decision. Not only can you make sure you're okay by getting medical help, you can also make sure that your injuries are documented. And just in case you decide to pursue a personal injury claim down the road, you're going to want to have some kind of documentation of your injuries. You also need to make sure you get the information of everyone involved in the boat accident. Sometimes people are hurt and they can't go around getting everybody's information, and I understand that. However, if you can, you need to get people's names and their insurance information. Also, if you can, you need to get their contact information. If you don't get info of who was involved in the crash, they may disappear, and you won't be able to pursue an injury claim if you don't know who hurt you and if you can't find those people. Another important step is to contact the South Carolina Department of Natural Resources, SCDNR, and report the accident, especially if someone got injured in any kind of way or if there was serious property damage. Also, if you feel up to it, you should always take pictures and videos after a boating accident. Try to get photos of the damage to the boats. And if you can, try to get pictures or video that shows where you were at the time of the accident. It's often hard to pinpoint exactly where a boating accident occurred, but if you can point to landmarks in your video or photo, it's a lot easier. And also, if you can, take pictures of your injuries or injuries to anyone involved. Finally, you should talk with a lawyer before you start giving details to the insurance companies. The insurance companies will use anything you say to minimize or deny your claim. So it's best if you have a lawyer to guide you through any recorded statements or other calls with the insurance company to make sure they aren't trying to pull a fast one on you. Their goal is to pay you as little money as possible. So it's a good idea to have someone by your side who can advocate on your behalf. Now, there's a lot of different ways jet ski accidents happen in South Carolina. A lot of the times, these accidents happen because jet ski rental companies don't properly train first-timers before they get out on the water. It takes a while to get the hang of driving a boat if you've ever driven one, especially a jet ski. These things don't have brakes and they don't steer like cars or bikes or other vehicles. It takes a little acceleration to make a turn, and it's tricky to avoid other boats. So putting first-timers out on the water without properly instructing them on how to safely drive a jet ski is a recipe for disaster. But rental companies do it all the time, especially in tourist areas like Hilton Head, Bluffton, Charleston, and Myrtle Beach. Another big reason jet ski accidents happen is because people engage in risky maneuvers and they get too close to other boats. They also get out on the water after they've been drinking, which is a huge problem in South Carolina. Jet skis tend to bring out the craziest side of people. And so a lot of people get hurt because of the reckless behavior. And when you add a few beers to this equation, terrible things can happen. When you're talking about a jet ski accident or boating accident case, you're generally talking about careless, negligent, or reckless behavior. And so a successful personal injury case will usually involve the 4 elements of negligence, which are duty, breach, causation, and damages. These are the same elements you have to prove in any kind of personal injury case, whether it's a car accident, boat accident, or something else. To simplify this as much as possible, the key here is showing that a person who injured you acted in an unreasonable way that directly caused your injuries. And if you can prove these things, and if you suffered damages, you may very well have a good case. So what kind of things can you be compensated for in South Carolina after getting injured in a jet ski accident? Well, the answer to this question is going to boil down to the facts of the incident and whether there's insurance available. Namely, your compensation will depend upon how badly you were harmed. Typically, more severe injuries or death is going to warrant more compensation than a less severe injury. The purpose of damages in a negligence case is to make the person whole, to pay them for what they've lost. You can usually put the type of damages into 2 different categories. There's economic damages and non-economic damages. And economic damages are tangible damages, and these are easily quantifiable. Here, we're usually talking about things like medical bills or lost wages and the costs associated with rehabilitation like physical therapy and chiropractic treatment. Non-economic damages are intangible damages, and they're a lot harder to add up. Here, we're talking about things like pain and suffering, or emotional distress, or mental anguish, or the loss of enjoyment of life. There may also be a loss of consortium claim. And the common example here is that a spouse claims damages for lost support relating to the victim's injuries. Now, there's one last type of damages we'll talk about, and that's punitive damages. Punitive damages are different from economic and non-economic damages because the purpose of punitive damages is not to make the victim whole, but instead to punish the defendant and deter others from engaging in similar behavior. Punitive damages are not available in every single case, and you typically only see punitive damages in a case where the behavior is particularly reckless. For example, you might see punitive damages in a case involving a drunk driver. Overall, South Carolina is a hotspot for tourists and boaters, and that makes sense. South Carolina has some of the most beautiful lakes, rivers, and beaches in the country, and people want to get out on the water and enjoy everything the state has to offer. Unfortunately, many of the waterways are far too crowded, and you know this if you've ever been out on the May River or Lake Murray in the summer. It's nuts, and it can be pretty terrifying. And in addition to the congestion and the issues that come along with that, there are always folks out on the water that are drinking and driving. And when you add in tourists and first-time jet skiers to the water, you have a real recipe for disaster. and folks can get hurt. And that's why we made this video. We wanted to try and help people that find themselves in this terrible situation of getting hurt in a boat accident to understand more what their path may look like moving forward. Well, that's all I have for you today. If you think you need help from a South Carolina jet ski accident lawyer, don't hesitate to reach out to us. We're happy to give you a free consultation and talk with you more about what happened. You can reach out to us at the number below in the video description, or you can visit our website at www.spetsasbuist.com. That's SPETSASBUIST.com. Thank you so much for watching this video, and we'll see you next time.